beautiful muses. Welcome to your November 2023 monthly outlook. We are going to pick 4 piles for you guys to choose from the Woodland Wardens. Okay. We've got pile 1 with the Snail and Huckleberry. Ooh, let's take this flipped. Most obviously. The Salamander and Black Pepper with Inspiration. By the way, the Snail and Huckleberry says trust in the invisible. Salamander and Black Pepper says inspiration. The Snake and Fern, starting over. Oh, that's too many. Wow, so many cards flying out. Let's take this bottom one. The Fox and Ivy, adaptability. Okay, so just to reiterate that, we've got pile 1, the Snail and Huckleberry, trust in the invisible. Pile 2, the Salamander and Black Pepper with inspiration. Pile 3, the Snake and Fern, starting over. And pile 4, the Fox and Ivy, adaptability. So gaze over these 4 piles. Think about the month of November, things that might be on your mind with it. Just the general sense of the environment of November where you live. And tune into which card is drawing you in, and that will have your aligned reading for November 2023. All right, when you are ready, timestamps are in the descriptions, and I will see you in your readings. Hello, pile 1. Welcome to your November 2023 reading. You guys picked the Snail and Huckleberry, trust in the invisible. So this is going to be the sort of main overarching energy around the vibration of your November. And I'm actually going to read from the guidebook for this to give some context to it, and then a couple other oracle cards to fill that out even more, to get just like this more broad overview sense of like how November will feel to you. And then we are going to roll some astrology dice to get 3 different categories of your life that are going to be important during the month. And then we'll do some tarot for each of those 3 to see why, context around why it will be an important category for you. Okay, so the Snail and Huckleberry, it says, the determined and deliberate snail carries its home on its back. While it may seem like a simple, humble creature, the spiral of its shell portends great mystery, representing the cycle of life. Like the snail, the huckleberry is sometimes associated with smallness and insignificance. A huckleberry, in late 19th century slang, was a person of little consequence. However, it is a powerful fruit that grows plentiful, offering life-sustaining nutrients to both humans and woodland creatures. Together, the snail and huckleberry invite an appreciation for what is beneath the surface and trust in what cannot be seen. Now is a good time to follow your bliss, trusting in invisible supports. With great risk comes great rewards. And I can't help but think about, if you don't know who Joseph Campbell is, he's one of the renowned scholars on mythology and the kind of like the hero's journey and how mythologies plug into the language of soul and how they have these sort of journeys associated with them that have, you know, different types of universal types of stories and journeys our souls tend to take us on. And one of his strongest opinions about life and how to live life to a certain fulfillment is to follow your bliss. No matter how hard that might feel, you know, life, we create a lot of restraints around us and expectations around us, but if you can follow your bliss, life tends to unfold in mysterious and beautiful and really, really, truly fulfilling ways if you can be daring enough. And so to me, it's saying something about November is like you're really getting in touch with that like unseen gold that you want in your life, like what gold would mean to you, what would be golden to you, showing you what your bliss is, like really newly touching into what would be your bliss, and having this challenge put to you to say, can you follow your bliss? Okay, let's pick a couple oracle cards to give a little more context to maybe why this is coming up or how it's coming up. So Priestess of Light, we have Circle of Eternal Joy, Timeless Dance of Life. Yeah, I don't know. There's some kind of like, wherever you are in your cycle of life, it's like there's an opening right now for you to really jump on this, to really claim what is your bliss and how can I follow it? And that will take you into a circle of life that's more about joy. Yeah, beautiful. That's really beautiful. Ooh, this card flew out for you. Air and motion. Yeah, this to me, it feels like it's in the wind. It's change is afoot to me here, which brings an opening that you could take advantage of. But in the change taking place, in the movement and motion around you in life that's taking place, find those still moments to feel what's in that unseen material that really taps you into your bliss. And once you get that, there's like, you can really take advantage of the winds of change to step in to a new circle that's about, you know, a new journey, a new cycle of life, a new hero's journey that is about joy. So yeah, really cool. Okay, moving on to the 3 different categories in your life that are going to be most important or most focal. So let's find out the first one. Second house, so self-worth, pleasure, possessions, income, however it resonates to you. Maybe you're up for or should ask for a promotion or a raise, or maybe this is more about just like slowing down and enjoying life, really igniting your 5 senses and feeling into life. Or it could be about kind of refurbishing some possessions around you that bring you more joy and beauty. Yeah, let's find a little bit of context to this with the tarot. Okay. Ooh, I feel like these just came right on out. Yeah, there's some kind of ending going on. Let's just do one more. Okay. Yeah, something around, it might be time to detach from some possessions or to change the way you are bringing an income in. Might be time to do like a purging, a house cleaning, a spring cleaning in autumn. But your mind is sharp here, and there's some kind of balance being reestablished. And any moves you want to make here, I think, will open the door to new possibility. So I feel like initially there's something you're needing to let go of in the material realm, in the sensual realm. Yeah, whether it's possessions, income, the way you're finding pleasure. By letting go of that, you are inviting in like a new clarity of mind, new balance coming in, and new opportunities to touch into this realm in like more authoritative, clear, balanced, eager ways, exciting ways. Yeah, so some kind of shift happening here. Could connect into the motion we've already seen up here, the air of change, something. Yeah, but I do have to say that whatever you are letting go of here, it may have some grief associated with it, but the good that lies behind in the change is really, really important and beautiful. And talking about following your bliss, this shows that if you can let go and just allow grief to move through you, where you will be moving towards is more blissful. Yeah, okay, cool. Loving that. Okay, let's see what other category shows up for you. First house, your sense of self, how you're finding your centering, your passion, your needs. So some self-focus coming in and is needed in order for you to really help life orient around you in a more passionate way. And this does not surprise me at all. The first house showing up with this talk about following your bliss. It's time to get back to what brings you into your center and allows you to touch into your authenticity and your passion. That's important for you this month, to connect into that. Queen of Earth, yeah. It's more materially fulfilling for you if you can touch into this. Eight of Fire, it can happen fast for you too, which we also saw in that last category, the Messenger of Air, I believe it was, along with the Eight of Fire in this category. Yeah, I feel like there's like a more materially blissful something coming up from within you, that you're, yeah. Nine of Fire. And the Magician. Trust that whatever kind of like movement starts to take place, you have the skills and the resources you need to take action. It is worth doing a little bit of reflection and really finding what the vision is for the long term, how it is you want to feel long term in this new journey, what you want a potential new journey or following your bliss to result in terms of how you want to feel, not necessarily specifics of what those are, like, you know, success in this or this person as a love interest. It's like more like, I want to feel this way due to following my bliss, and trusting that you because that bliss is coming from you, you have what's needed to follow it and succeed in following it. But yeah, it's like connecting you to a much more nourishing sense of your material connection to life, and things will happen fast. And I think they happen fast because it's alive in you. It's your bliss, you know, connecting into your bliss. Really beautiful. Okay, let's look at one more category of life for you. See what else comes up. 8th house, which is about intimacy. It's about wealth. So debt and wealth. So about kind of shared resources. It's about empowerment. You know, what is it that we have to share in the world in very strategic, precise ways that can empower us, and that can, by channeling that correctly, allow the resources, you know, shared resources to come our way as well. Yeah, so something here about empowerment. Just because of the nature of what we've already seen, there is something about material life going on here. But I do, you know, even before we see the tarot cards, I get the sense that anytime someone follows their bliss, they're coming from a more empowered place. And this might be saying that as you follow your bliss, you still need to be kind of like aware and mindful and strategic, because when we shine bright, when we follow our bliss, it can attract, you know, insects. And so we have to be careful about who we allow to touch our bliss, right? So I feel like this might be touching into that as well. Hermit. There's something where just for now, just for this month, as you tap into your bliss, there's something you need to keep a little bit private about this, to yourself about this for right now. It might be because it's so new. You just, you know, seeing that first house category that was the last one we did, this to me plugs back into that. Like, you need to spend some personal time with this. It's not ready to be shared in the world. It's ready to grasp for yourself right now. And you need to find your instinct with it and sit with it and mine it for its, you know, how you connect to this, how you want to use it. Yeah, and this is confirming, like, it's not ready to be that bliss that you find, that you follow. It's not ready to be out in the world. That could bring some conflict at this point if you do that. Transformation, yeah. Yeah, this is a rebirth coming through, and that doesn't shock me. You know, November is it's an 11 number, which brings frequency shifts. It elevates us. But B, it holds a good portion of Scorpio season, which is about death and rebirth, about resurrection, about tearing things apart to see where the blocks are in order to reconnect with our life force and get it flowing again. And I feel like there's something here, and that's why this is very to yourself this month. There's some mining you're needing to do to uncover this. I think this month is really about tearing anything away that is feeling like it's kind of bogging you down, keeping you stuck, keeping you feeling small, keeping you feeling exhausted. It's time to dissect that, to tear it apart, to get down into the dirty underground piping of your life to find that bliss, to reconnect with your bliss. And then once you find it, to claim it, but to spend some personal time with that, and it will kind of really transform you. And then 5 of fire. Yeah, and I think by the time you leave November or November's ending, you're going to have some notions of like how to start strategizing, how to make some plans of like, what's the next step? What do I do with this? How do I move forward with this? And feeling some inspiration and motivation to start kind of creating some plans about that. So yeah, really beautiful. So definitely, I mean, it's interesting how all the categories seem to kind of speak to each other and relate to each other. I wasn't sure that was going to happen. This isn't the first time I've done the month reading in this way. So that was interesting. It'll be interesting to see if that happens in every pile, if that's just a function of how this is going to work, or if that's unique to you guys. I don't know. But they did. All those categories really connected to each other. So yeah, very powerful month. Really a time that's opening up for you to uncover, revive, and reconnect to what your bliss is. And if you're daring enough to start putting some plans down around how to follow it, how to not just be aware of what that would be, but how to trust that you can follow that bliss, and that it's meant for you, and that it can be successful for you. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. I hope you have a beautiful November and a very exciting one. If this resonated, I always appreciate the things like, share, subscribe, and definitely just really grateful for all of you for coming and supporting my channel, and also very grateful for kind and thoughtful comments that come in. All right, I hope you have a beautiful November, and I will see you in future readings. Hello, Pile 2. Welcome to your November 2023 reading. You guys picked the Salamander and Black Pepper with inspiration. So this is going to be sort of the overarching energy over your November. I am going to pick 2 more oracle cards to kind of enhance and flesh it out a little bit more. But before I do that, I'm going to read from the guidebook for this, just to really get into the meat of the symbolism of this card, which is kind of an overarching influence for your November. So symbols of fire and heat, the salamander and black pepper call us to be full of energy and inspired. Both Aristotle and Pliny the Elder wrote of the salamander's ability to withstand flames, and the creature's association with fire is echoed in ancient Greek myth. Black pepper or peppercorn has an earthly flavor with a spicy kick, making it a perfect match for the fire-friendly salamander. A new opportunity awaits. To fulfill it, you must remain inspired, applying your full energy to your creative endeavors. What inspires me? How do I invite and incorporate more inspiration into my life? So those are some things to think about if you're coming into November and you don't necessarily feel inspired, but you want to feel inspired. Like, think about some things you could do that really tend to awaken you, enliven you. So is that for you? Is that being out in nature? Is that visiting an art gallery or a museum? Is that going to an amusement park? Is it, whatever it is for you, making beef bourguignon that takes all day to make, what is a thing that tends to just get your creative juices going, that tends to in general inspire you? Start thinking about some things you could do to just help you engage with that energy. Okay, so we're going to pick a couple of oracle cards just to help flesh out this overarching energy a little more. Maybe why it's here or how it's showing up. Touching earth, planting something new. And it did say something, I've closed the guidebook, so I won't take time to find the page again, but it did say something about something new is starting. Plant something new. And so this may even be more of like the conception, like November may hold some energy around like a new idea, a new conception, something that's seeding that maybe you're not necessarily in the action, steps yet and charging forward into it, but like just like something new is an inspiring you this month that is planting a seed, and then in coming months will start to formulate as like some sort of actionable plan. But can you just sort of like live in your fire this month? Find things that enliven you, that inspire you. I feel like you're supposed to find things this month, like really dig into life, to do things that inspire you, because you're supposed to catch a new idea. I definitely think of ideas as not always being our own, but given to us. And so it's like you need to be out there and inspired so you can be open to an idea seeding in you that then you can seed into your life somehow. Okay, one more oracle card here. Water, creation. Yeah, so much creativity coming up. Let things flow, let things move in your life. I do think something is coming to you, connecting into you, awakening in you that you're supposed to engage with creatively, that feels inspiring to you. And this doesn't mean like you don't have to be an artist. Like maybe your brand of being inspired to create is like creating spreadsheet system, like you can be more of that left-brained person and still be creative in like how you work with numbers or how, but for some of you, you might be more of the right-brained, artistic, imaginative, something, but creation is creation, however it comes through you. Okay, we are now going to look at the top 3 categories of your life that are going to be important this month using some astro dice, and then we'll pick some tarot cards to get some context as to why. Well, of course the 5th house comes up. That's all about creativity. So, right on par. There's tap into your heart this month. There's something coming, your heart is awakening. There's something that you're feeling courageous and bold, or that is at least waking up in you if you're not already kind of feeling a need to be sort of in the light yet. It's like something's awakening here. So creativity, but also 5th house is also leadership and command, as well as kind of like being in the spotlight. So however this relates to you. We've got 4 of air. Yeah, this feels to me like you're waking, like your heart in the context of command and presence and creation is like waking up, but there's something you're contemplating here. 7 of earth. Yeah, you're seeding something, you're contemplating something creative, something bold. Messenger of air. I feel like once you figure out what this creative inspiration is, like you're gonna feel eager to just move forward with it. And this is sort of like, take a minute though to let this assimilate in you, to plant this in very mindful, thoughtful ways before you really like eagerly and impulsively do something here. I do feel like this messenger of air, just in the context of everything that's already kind of come to light, is a little bit more of a warning. Like don't prematurely rush forward with this. Yeah, and the 8 of water showing up is saying that you are like there is some kind of creative cycle ending in your life, and that's why you shouldn't be just diving in head first with something new. It's like you still needing to unravel from some other creative thing that has been, and spend some time seeding and contemplating the new one. The time to act will make itself apparent. So just let things sort of marinate a little bit more, like just connect to inspiration, connect to what's going to seed. It's not the time to pull the trigger. But so beautiful nonetheless. There is something inspiring and creative and beautiful coming into you, being delivered to you, that you can seed and start to cultivate in a really private, beautiful, contemplative way in your life. Just patience, right? Okay. When the time is right, you will move forward with speed. Okay. Let's look at the next. So a second category of life that will be important in November. Well, the 5th is, it's doubly coming up. I feel like it's just like amplifying what we already said. Let's pick just one more card. Maybe there's another message or more confirmation coming through here. Yeah, I like this coming through as an extra message, that whatever does come in, that seeds in you, that you can now seed and cultivate in your life with some patience. And again, reiterating, you'll know the time to act. Don't be impulsive about it. It has a vibration of success around it. It will have a success if you do things with the right timing and not impulsively. So patience, this will have success attached to it. Just, do it in the right timing. Okay, well that went fast. Let's see if there's a third category that shows up, or if this is all just like really concentrated. 4th house. Beautiful. So this is about tending to self-care, to soul, to your foundation. So family, home, nourishment. Feeling this card. Queen of Fire. Yeah, I think this is touching into the patience I was talking about. It's like you need to take care of yourself this month, and you need to, like, the reason why it's not time to rush forward with this inspiration and put it into action beyond that, like it needs some time to seed, which is just part of a cycle of life. But beyond that, it's like you're really needing to nurture and nourish your creativity in really soulful, private ways. Because within you, whatever, it doesn't matter what gender you associate with, the Queen of Fire is about to rise in you. But she's feeling a little bit insecure. So the way that you bring, kind of in a leadership way, bring creativity into community and into a nourishing flow with others. There's something about that is starting to come into a fertile phase. You may be craving to use that and feel strong in that, but it's like it just needs a little bit more nourishment and strength. It will be coming out really soon, that ability to really stand in the spotlight and actually take action in that presence and creativity and command. It's coming very soon. It's just not like you're just like one season away, and the season you're in is about deepening and nourishing that creative fire that is really starting to come into maturity and fertility in you. 2 of air. Let's get a few more out before we dissect each card. 10 of water. And 6 of air. Yeah, it's like there's something you're deliberating. It's like, should I do this, or should I do this, or which way should I go, or should I take action on this, or should I not take action on this? It's like something's the part of why you're not quite ready to like really step forward with any inspiration that comes in is like there's something you're not sure about that's making you feel a little bit insecure. And you're weighing and measuring things, and it's sort of like this month you can take the time to really mine more information, more knowledge, any other extra things you might need to tip the scales one way or the other. This is a beautiful month to like really get those last little details on the pros and cons type of thing, and really figure out where the right balance is, where the right decision is. And this does show that you're going to be moving on from something. We've already seen that with the 8 of Cups in that first 5th house category that we went through. It's like, yeah, there's something is kind of, you're still detangling from some old creative pursuit or endeavor or project or something. And this is showing that you are about to move to a better, more calm, beautiful shore. You are about to move on. A new hope is coming in, and that new hope is really harmonious, really beautiful. Whatever inspiration comes in, I would say with this influence is right for you. It's aligned with your soul. It's just that you need to kind of nourish yourself a little bit more, find out a few more details to know how to make some kind of decision you're deliberating right now or through November. But I think it's gonna click. You're gonna know the right time to step forward with this. Meanwhile, give some time to kind of like move to some calmer shores, detangle from that old creative thing, and really let that inspiration just kind of come and nourish and feed your life this month. Yeah, really beautiful. I love this month for you guys. The overall advice to me, what I would feel if you were like my best friend sitting next to me, I would kind of be like, enjoy the month. Don't try to put pressure on yourself about anything. Kind of let go of what's already letting go, and let that space attract in new inspiration, and let that just nourish you, and just let it be and enjoy it. It's seeding something that will turn into motion in coming months, but just enjoy this kind of like moving on energy, and this new energy infusing into you this month. Yeah, just like enjoy it, be with it. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. I hope it resonated. If so, I always appreciate the likes and shares and subscribes. And just a big thank you to everyone that does come time and again and supports my channel. I really appreciate it. And also, I'm always grateful for kind and thoughtful comments. All right, have a beautiful November, and I will see you in future readings. Hello, Pile 3. Welcome to your November 2023 forecast outlook. You guys picked for your pile the Snake and the Fern with Starting Over. That's a better view. So this is going to be sort of like the overarching vibe, overlaying the energy of your November. And I'm going to read from the guidebook just to kind of dig into the symbolism of this card, the energy of it a little bit more. We're also going to pick a couple more oracle cards to flesh it out even further, just to get that broad, general energy of your month. And then we are going to roll an astrology dice that's related to categories of your life for 3 different categories that will be the top areas of your life that will be sort of like highlighted or emphasized in November, and then use some tarot to flesh out what that's about. Okay, so diving into the snake and the fern. Let me find their page real quick. Okay, so starting over, the snake and fern call us to start anew. Regularly shedding its skin, the snake is a symbol of rebirth and transformative healing. And in many cultures, the fern is associated with new life and new beginnings. The Maori of New Zealand, an image of the unfurling, to the Maori of New Zealand, an image of the unfurling silver fern frond, or koru, is a central motif indicating growth and a return to one's origins. Together, the snake and the fern inspire confidence as we start over or embark along a new path. A rebirth is imminent. Summon the magical protection of the fern and wriggle free of old trappings. Beautiful. So it feels as though November holds some kind of new beginning, some kind of transformation for you guys. Thinking about that shedding of the skin with the snake, it's not like, I don't see this as being something that, like a whole new category of life igniting for you, but like something getting a refresh, something getting a rebrand kind of feel, new skin to something that has gotten a little bit old and brittle. It's like something's getting a glow up, I guess you would say. That's what it feels like. There's like a glow up happening here. And thinking about that unfurling of the fern, like new leaves of a fern. It's like new growth to something, new skin to something. Yeah, it just feels like something that has gotten tired, has gotten stale, is getting, a glow up, a refresh. So that could be about an area of life. It could be literally feeling kind of like a physical glow up. We'll kind of dive into this, or it could just be about something, like your mindset, or something about your home. And it may be a little different for each of you. I don't know. Let's dive into the cards and get some context here. Okay, so we'll call on the Priestesses of Light to add some kind of insight around this. Whoops. Guide, the illuminated path. Interesting. Let's get the other card out. I'm waiting for some kind of intuition about this. Nothing like immediately. I feel like I need to know more about that. This one feels to make equal the equator. This is interesting. Where I'm pulling what I'm about to say from is like a thread I've seen universally across all of the piles so far, is like needing a certain better balance to come into play, for life to feel more balanced, to feel more at ease and beautiful. And so that's where I'm feeling like kind of a glow up or refresh is coming in, is like something about your life getting a glow up in terms of it feeling more balanced, feeling more proportionate, feeling a little bit more relaxed. So something coming in November that is allowing you to kind of like transform the general sense of how you feel that balanced in your life. And with the guide, the illuminated path, I don't know if you've recently come across some wisdom or some insight and guidance from somebody else about, this feels like not quite mentorship, but you know when you see someone or recognize someone or become aware of someone where you're like, wow, I really would like my life to be like theirs, or I would like to develop something about me that they do so well, and you become admiring and you kind of use that as a map to do some mirroring and some mimicking a little, like the what's that saying? Why all of a sudden it's escaped my mind, but that kind of, the fake it till you make it kind of thing. I feel like something caught your eye in previous months of like, I'd really like my life to feel like that person's, or someone came into your life that gave you some wise advice of like how to make life feel a certain way. And I feel like November is like, this is like really sinking in and assimilating for you. I don't feel like this is new information to you. I feel like this is something that has been sinking into your consciousness for a little bit, to the point that it's something's assimilated, and now you're past the faking it part to making it part. You're transitioning to, I'd like it to be like that, to being like, oh, I know how to make it like that. I know how to mirror that into my life now, how to actualize that into my life now. And it's giving whatever that is a glow up, a new skin, and a new kind of actual confidence of like, yeah, I got this. I know how to do this. So something really like empowering around that glow up. It's something you've wanted. It's something that's really, even if it hasn't been like super conscious in your mind, you might think back even like a year ago if something came up of like, I'd like my life to feel like that, or I'd like to develop this in myself that this person does, or how this person lives. And you may have even forgot about that, but it sunk in, it felt really resonant and it sunk in. Or maybe you've consciously been working on this, but whatever it was, it's like it really sunk in. It really hit a chord with you, and it's assimilated, and it's like it was so right in you, and your instincts started to attach to it and be like, yeah, this feels right. There's a reason why that was resonant to me. And it's peeling off an old layer, and really giving you a glow up in terms of what that is to you. But it's something about feeling more balanced, for sure. To expand on that, sometimes, that feels like even though November doesn't hold Libra energy, I don't know, there may be some planets in Libra. I didn't look at the astrology of November before I should have. But it doesn't even matter. There, I am picking up a Libra thread. So it could be about something feeling more balanced in you or in your life, but it could also have something to do with like being able to use aesthetics and design in your life, making things more beautiful, or it could be about themes of justice and fairness. But there's something where like a new balance, a new harmony is starting to take root because you're starting to wear a skin of knowing how to do that and really having an assimilated wisdom of like, oh, I know how to anchor this into my life. Yeah, really beautiful. Okay, we are now going to look at 3 categories of life that are going to be very important in November. We'll see what comes up for you, but the other 2 readings, those categories very much so riffed off of this overarching energy, which, makes sense. I hadn't really thought about that going into looking at the categories, but yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't, because this is the overarching energy, kind of plug into those. So, but we'll see what happens for you. So first category, 3rd house, so communication, community, mindset, information, learning, these kinds of things are going to be important for you in November. And we're going to pick some tarot to see sort of some context around this. I'm feeling this card, Messenger of Fire. Yeah, we'll take these 2 cards. Oh, it's 3 cards, so these are the 3 last ones. 8 of Earth. This is something okay, hold on. Let's turn these over before I get ahead of myself. 10 of Earth, 8 of Earth, Messenger of Fire, 2 of Earth. Look at all that Earth energy. This may have something to do with work. These 8 and 10 of Earth relate to Virgo energy, which is all about work, health, wellness. But I do feel in terms of what these, beyond being connected to Virgo, these cards always specifically bring up the thought of work to me. Something you have worked on and brought a skill in. So I think this is something you've practiced. Some kind of mindset, some kind of communication, some sort of learning. I think you've put some effort into, practiced, and it has become skillful, and it's ready to be put into the world to flow and create kind of like a flow of resources, a flow of energy from your productivity, bringing some abundance in. And because of sort of the skillfulness you've instilled in yourself, this is something that you will, the 2 of Earth, interestingly, coming kind of really closely under the make equal or equator card. This is something you'll be able to easily balance into your life. So this is how this is plugging into the overarching energy of like something in the mental realm, something you've learned, some way of communicating, some sense of community that you've put a lot of practice into, whatever resonates for you of those things I just said. There is a skillfulness there. There is something that you can put into a flow of material energy here, and it's something that you will be able to balance very well in your life, that will bring balance to your life, I think, in tapping into that overarching energy. So something in the mental field, communication, connections, information, learning, something about that, very practiced. It's now time to integrate it into your life, and it should be something you should be able to hold very solidly and balance, that could create like a really beautiful balance in your life. And I feel an eagerness here to do this. It's kind of like it's the right time. This messenger of fire is connecting to that like new skin thing to me. There's an eagerness here. There's a freshness here. There's a radiance here. Yeah, there's an energy to charge ahead with something here about, connection, community, information, communication, whatever resonates for you. But yeah, it's ready. It will help bring some balance to your life. You have a radiance in it. It's time to kind of like express yourself in some way. And it has the potential to really create some productivity in your life and enhance a certain balance in your life. So yeah, beautiful. Okay, let's look at a second category. Roll the dice again. And sometimes we've gotten the same category coming up twice, which would just, in my opinion, really like double down and say like, no, that category is really, really important. I've drawn one extra card for that, but I feel like it is just referencing back that like, no, we don't want to spread our focus. This is the real main focus, but we'll see what happens here. So 8th house is another category coming up. This is about empowerment. It's about shared resources, and it's also about intimacy. And intimacy kind of popped for me looking at this to make equal in the equator, and how I connected that also in a more broad sense to kind of themes of Libra, which also can connect to relationship. And in this card, there is like a personal relationship there that, I don't know, something about that sparked when I said that, that intimacy. So I might read it that way. I think there might be something about intimacy this month. Queen of Water, yeah, it's like really having beautifully nourishing energy, being able to bring nourishing community together, to take a lead and command of being a nourishing force in life, having kind of even like a nourishing poetic quality. We've got 7 of Waters, which is a Scorpio-esque card, which can relate to intimacy. I'm going to pick the other 2 cards before I get into that one, though. So I have some thoughts, but I just want to make sure what else comes out. Empress, beautiful. And 7 of Air, yeah. You need to really trust your intuition in terms of who you give your confidence to, your resources to, your body to. Your intuition is on point. It's very flowing this month, but there's like, I'm seeing a lot of potentials and opportunities that feel kind of alluring coming in front of you, and you really need to tap into your inner soul space to know what's right, because it's kind of the not all that glitters is gold. So certain things that may seem sexy on first appearance, underneath that initial allure may have some trappings, but some of the things are pure gold inside, and you'll know by tapping into your intuition what's right. And I feel like this has a lot to do with like, who you confide in, what you confide, who you allow into those deeper inner spheres, inner soulful places within you. It's not necessarily like a caution, but just some discernment to be used here. Just be discerning, really tap into your intuition, take a beat before you impulsively give of yourself, or or feel yourself kind of seduced by anything, take a beat. I feel like there are going to be a lot of seductive things pulling at you, and some of them you may regret opening up to. So yeah, take a beat, use your intuition. Some of them are really beautiful for you. Some of them are not. So you need to, yeah, again, I mean, I know I'm repeating myself, but take a beat, tap into your intuition, feel into your gut of those uh-huhs and Does this feel right? Close your eyes to how anything looks and first appearances of things and the surface of it, and just ask, does this feel right? And you'll know. Yeah, because some of the things are distractions. Some of these things are, there is a caution here. There is some persuasion and influence on the outside of like, there may be some element of like, well, this is the trend. This is what everyone else is doing. But not all of what everyone else is doing or what the trends are quite aligned or right for you. And you need to stay individual to yourself and trust your intuition, even if it feels a little bit offbeat for some reason. And when you follow your intuition and you are drawn into the right, alluring things, there is deep empowerment there for fertility and creativity, and to tap into your ability to feel life as alive within you, and to really give yourself or your resources over to things that are very fertile for you and creative for you. But you need to trust your own beat, your individuality, and your personal intuition here. Because, not all of what everyone else is doing or what on the surface looks good is always going to be aligned there. So pick and choose wisely, take a beat, and you'll open to the right things if you do that, and it will be very flourishing feeling. Connecting this into, I think that guide, this is where the guide and the illuminated path comes in. What feels luminous to you? You are your own guide here. Trust your inner guidance, and that will show you what is radiant, what is luminous, what is the right path there. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, last category. Let's see what comes up. Third house again, so that's emphasizing that thing of connection, communication, expression, learning, information, something that is ready to really be used, that's become skillful in you, to really be put more forward out into life. We'll pick one more tarot card to just because it's an important category. What else can we add to this that we didn't touch on yet? The World. You're coming into some success here. Yeah. You've developed skill. If you put that skill to use, it will create a flow. It will create productivity in your life and movement in your life. It will help bring balance. I'm just trying to recall what we said and reiterate it. It will bring some new balance. You'll be able to very stably incorporate it into your life, and it's going to bring success too. I think some success you've long been waiting for. I think whatever, comes of this, here's the thing. I think maybe there's been some information or expression you've worked on for a long time, and it's sort of like you haven't quite been at that point of knowing how to use it in a way that creates a certain productivity or output in your life. And it's like something came along, and it might have been that thing of like, you saw someone doing with what you were working on something similar in a way that suddenly clicked of like, oh, I just need to direct all of this way. And like something suddenly clicks, and it's like an instinct suddenly comes on. And this may be something you find within the November, once you get into November. But it's like something suddenly clicks, and it gives you a new life, a new way of doing this, a new skin in how you approach this. But you've spent a lot of time already refining and developing and creating skill. You needed that right click in and direction of like how to direct it, where to direct it, what to do with it. And that's finally clicking, and it's finally, finding its focus. And the balance is newly right. And it's bringing some stability in for you and some success, some long-awaited success for you guys. So beautiful. All right, so that is your November, the big energy, so overarching, and then for you it's 2 categories really specifically coming to the forefront of life that will be kind of focal in November. And but I love this being like the last tarot card just sitting out here on its own. It just like reiterates to me like success. So good luck with that. I hope you have a beautiful November. If this resonated, I always appreciate the things like, share, and subscribe. And I am very grateful to all of you that show up to my channel and support it. And always also grateful for kind and thoughtful comments. It makes me feel that human connection out there. But even just a like or even just being here is also, something I'm just grateful for. Okay, I hope you have a beautiful November, and I will see you in future readings. Hello, Pile 4. Welcome to your November 2023 outlook. You guys picked Fox and Ivy with adaptability. So this is this card is representing kind of the overarching general theme energy for your November, the vibration kind of overlaying everything. And I'm going to read from the guidebook for this to really flesh out its symbolism, and then we'll pick a couple more oracle cards to just like really expand on what that overarching energy of your month is. And then we are going to use an astro dice to find the top 3 categories of your life that will be, the ones that are really central to November, that will have the most, movement or happening or emphasis on. And then we'll do some tarot with each of those to kind of expand on the context of that. Okay, so the Fox and Ivy with adaptability. Foxes are cunning, quick thinking, and clever. When paired with ivy, a hardy plant that flourishes even in harsh conditions, the fox reminds us to apply our cleverness towards adaptability. Allow the fox's ingenuity to guide you. Nimbleness and adaptability will suit you well in your endeavors. Do I feel stuck? How can I adapt to change in my life? Ooh, I like this. I definitely immediately thought of, November holds a good chunk of Scorpio season, which is a very, it's very precision oriented and strategic, and really helps us to get into the gunk that might be preventing and holding back our life force from flowing. And to really uproot it and witness it, and kind of have a resurrection and bring our life force back into flow wherever it has been stuck. And I feel that in this adaptability that was talked about, there's something that maybe has been stuck for you that's eluded you of like, why can't I get this thing moving in my life, or this area of me developed, or some aspect of my life is always just like stalled and I can't figure it out. And I feel like this month, that fox energy and ivy energy coming in is like giving you this new cleverness, this new ability to really see things in different ways and get very nimble and clever about it. Also in terms of how you're going in and like really getting into the gunk that needs to be seen, that's like clogging something up, and it's like you're really coming at this with a nimbleness, and it's the exact thing that's needed for you to have that epiphany, that aha, that's why this has been stuck, that's why this isn't moving forward. So a really powerful November of seeing something you've needed to see, and it's needed this energy of cleverness, it's needed this energy of nimbleness, of flexibility, to just like get something moving and see it dynamically, and just like get in there with an almost like a, not quite a playful energy, but like a light touch, a smart touch, something there. Okay, let's pick a couple of oracle cards to flesh this out even more. So we'll call on our Priestesses of Light. Ooh, that one wants to come out. Earth Magic, Fearlessness, Removing Obstacles. There we go. I mean, this definitely has the signature to me of like digging into life and being, that fox with its cleverness can be fearless because it knows it's smart. And so there's like a smartness coming through here that allows you to be a little bit more fearless, that then allows you to actually see what that thing is that's been blocking you and remove that obstacle. So you're just like really getting into like a clever, smart energy that brings you a fearless ability to like really get into something that's been stuck and hard to understand, and like really getting it in a quicksilver way this month. Okay, one more oracle card around this. Okay. Solidity, inner core. This feels like, just looking at the image of this, talking about like really removing the obstacle, witnessing something that's been blocking and releasing life force that's been stuck. That's what this feels like, looking at this image, like some obstacle being removed so your energy can fly, so your energy can move and you can elevate in life and feel more alive in life, cracking something open in order for that to happen. Solidity, inner core. I actually, for this, it feels to me like you are cracking something about something that's become too solid, that it became brittle. Something about your inner core that needed to be cracked open in order to let light in. So in that context, something about this month may actually feel a little bit difficult. Like something breaks open, which can sometimes be a little bit painful, but ultimately it is letting the light in, and it is releasing some life force that's been stuck. But you're, like tapping back into these other cards though, like you're ready for this though. And I think you're eager, looking at this horse, like just ready to charge in. You're fearless. You feel a certain smartness and nimbleness in you, and like, it's like you're ready. It's time to get in there, time to break something open. You're ready. I don't think this is going to happen to you. This feels like you taking the lead on this. And if you don't know what this is yet, I feel like you will know in November. Something will come up and you'll have this moment of like, ooh, I just had an idea. Suddenly recalling something that that has eluded you, and this new idea kind of coming in, and that suddenly giving you this courage of like, it feels almost spontaneous, like it's going to come, not something that you've been plotting and thinking about and ruminating over. I feel like it's like going to come in an instant, and you're going to be fearless in that instant, and you're going to just like take the lead to like crack something about you or your life open, and it's really going to release something. Yeah. Interesting. Beautiful. Okay, we are now going to look at the 3 categories of November that are going to be the top highlights, the headlines for your month, and kind of see how they plug into this overarching energy as well. Okay, so first category, 12th house. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. This is all about seeing your shadows, healing, and finding new inspiration. Really allowing something to dissolve that has been shoved in a closet. Seeing your shadow, which allows you to kind of merge your shadow and your light as one, embrace them both. And it just kind of that, when that light and that dark blend, it has this beautiful ethereal misty quality, and it invites in healing, it invites in inspiration. And so I feel like ultimately doing this deep scorpionic work is actually bringing in some beautiful soft ethereal healing. So let's get a little context around this specific got Queen of Air, Call, which is Judgment. Let's take this one, but not these two. Messenger of Water. Yeah, this is all aligning. And Patience. Beautiful. Yeah, you're with the Call, there is a finality to something. There is, and oftentimes it means a release. There's a difference between judgment. So a lot of time, I've had certain people ask me, what's the difference between justice, which makes kind of like a judgment on something or like brings in justice, and judgment, which kind of, can feel confusing. They're both kind of laying out a judgment. To me, justice is sort of like a court ruling. It can still be a little bit messy. It's finding the compromise. It's finding the right action, which doesn't always release an issue from your life. There's a judgment that's been made, but it doesn't always feel like it allows us to move on in some regard with some tension or issue, but it's not like a salve that dissolves it away. Whereas judgment, it's like acknowledging something that's been hard to acknowledge. And just by doing so, it's that release. It's fully released because we've finally just allowed it to come to the surface and be seen. And sometimes we can do that on our own, and sometimes the universe enforces that. And I feel like this is you taking a little bit of the lead on this. There's something that is just ready to come to your surface, be seen, and be released from your life. And with that Queen of Air here, you're ready to make the cut. You're ready to have a certain compassionate toughness about something that's just ready to be cut from your life, that's been shoved in a closet and just needs to come out and be released. It's finally happening. So many times with these types of things, it can feel like so scary, and we shove certain things away for so long because we just can't face it. And then when we finally do, we're like, that was it? That was so easy. I wish I did that 10 years ago, kind of thing, or a year ago, however big the thing, maybe it was even just a month ago, but it's like something that's been weighing and that you just haven't had the courage to face, and you've just shoved back and back, so you don't want to look at it. And so often it's actually just so easy and so relieving once it is done. And that's what's happening. You're finding that toughness, you're finding that fortitude to just be like, time to do this, time to look at this, time to face it, time to bring it out into the open and let it release. And it's just going to lift off of you. You're going to feel that movement. It's going to feel very gentle with that messenger of water. It's just going to, the image that comes to mind is, I feel like in your mind, you feel like the seahorse facing this huge other being, this other entity. And how could you possibly go up against that and let it out? But once you do, you realize that it's flipped. You're actually this empowered, enlightened being facing this meek, tiny seahorse, and it's just so easy and light, and it just drifts off. You just say, I see you, I'm letting this out, and it's just simple, and it's so much smaller than you imagined, and it just goes. It just drifts off so gently and so easily. And the patience here to me is just, I know this is actually like the Temperance card, but I'm reading it as the patience. I think you've been sitting on this for a long while, whatever's releasing this month. And I'm just feeling this woman, she just feels relieved to me. She's had a patience in, maybe like the timing hasn't been right to let this out, whatever it is that's about to release and heal in you. Maybe it just hasn't been the right timing, and you've been very patient, and the timing is now right. And it's just easy. It's just like everything's light about this, and it's going to be easy. It's going to, like, tapping into what I said up here about something coming up in an instant and finally being like, oh, I can do this suddenly. But whatever that is, it's like you've sat on for ages because the timing wasn't right. But like, it's almost like that clock tower or Cinderella's midnight strikes, and it's like, oh, now's the time to do this. And it's just like, so easy. And this thing you've waited for so long is just so easy to release once it just impulsively comes out of you. So yeah, it's like a spontaneous healing of something you've waited a long time to heal. I love that. That's so interesting. I'd love to hear from you at the end of November if something like that came up for you. It was very fascinating. Okay, let's look at another category that will be important in November. 5th house, creativity, heart, command, spotlight. Let's see what this means more specifically for you. Page of Fire, something new. Something new, something very from heart and soul, but that's creative. Oops. 10 of Fire. Oh, these are getting messy down here. Let's get one more first before I dive in. 3 of Fire. so much is coming up in your reading for me around timing. This again has this feel to me that you've waited for something for a long time. It's like old attachments have had a hold of you. In maybe a slightly toxic way. Sometimes I'm just like thinking of like poets, or that energy of sometimes there's some people or some phase we go through where it's almost like we enjoy a certain pain, or enjoy a certain longing, or enjoy a certain breaking open of something. It's like you've been holding on to something that is like, there's been a certain pleasure in holding on to something that's been a little bit sad or down or heartbreaking, and it's weighed, like I feel like it's weighed on you a lot, and you're finally, like I feel like it's finally coming to that point of like, it's time though to release this. This may be this might be giving more context to the healing. This might be, because the 5th house can be like romance in our heart. This might be a heart issue for some of you. For others, it could be a creative thing that you've struggled to let go of, and you just like keep working at it, even though it's sort of like dead in the water. But either way, it's like either like a romantic heart thing or like a creative thing you've struggled to let go of, but you've also just like reveled in the memory and pain of it for some reason, because it helps you to like tap into those deep feelings, but it's become too heavy. There's that saying that if we allow grief to swallow us, our hearts become stones. And I feel like that maybe has happened, but that stone is now like hit the bottom of an ocean or something and like cracked open, and it's releasing you from this grip of some pain you've in a way loved, needed to hold on to for some reason. And it's like you finally hit the wall with this, and you're cracking it. It's cracking open, and your energy is releasing to something new. And that's the bookend here. The bookend here is new passion, new creativity, new heart energy coming in, squishing this out of being. Like there is like a trash compactor that's squishing these out of being, because this new energy is just too ready and too strong, and it's going to overtake the old. And it's like a new ship coming in, a new creative energy, new vision, new sight, and you're adapting. You're removing what had weighed your heart into a stone and cracking that open and releasing new life force, new energy, new creativity to come in. And it's going to feel better than how you enjoyed the pain that you were holding on to. This is going to overtake it and feel so much better, and just like really help you to let go. Final release here. Your heart is free with new energy, new passions, new drive, new focus. Yeah, this is beautiful. This is really powerful, you guys. Yeah, I just feel like a huge freeing up of life force, and a huge letting go of something that's in a strange way pleasurably weighed you down. But yeah, something is enlivening, something, you're ready to cut the cord. It's time. You've had that patience. These all tie in together. These all kind of are one story, everything we've talked about. But yeah, the ship is coming in, a new fire is here. And you're about to adapt to it and really kind of nimbly get away from the old. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, let's look at the last category. Ooh, 11th house. That's new hope. In the context of this reading, to me, what the 11th house is saying is new hope, new impulse, new inspiration. Time to really, and it's also about liberating. Time to liberate your light for new things, new hope, new vision. Yeah, love it. These are all connected, as they should be. So page of error, yeah. I mean, that's just huge reaffirmation of 11th house, like new hope, new energy, new ideas, new elevation of light and energy and air, a lighter feeling coming in. And, you know, I feel like you're a creative soul, whoever's come here. I feel like you have a lot of creative, deep feeling energy. And this isn't just like letting go of those deep things in you. This elevation and lightness coming in will still have depth to it, but it's going to free you to really soar and really connect to new ideas and new paths and new, everything. Four of Earth. Yeah, ready to start using your resources again. Stop sitting on things that you've wanted to, like, maybe protect certain feelings you've had and hold on to them. It's time to release them. Ace of Fire, yeah, new fire coming in, new levity coming in, new passion coming in. Six of Earth. Oh, I love this coming in. It adds a new context to everything. So whatever new, fresh passion, creativity starts to enter your life to give you new hope, to liberate you from the past, you're going to have the support you need to follow that new thing. So maybe, you know, one example is like maybe some of you, it's going back to school to get a degree in something artistic that you suddenly realize is part of your soul calling, but you need some training in it. Like it's maybe like a natural talent, but you need to make it a skill now. And so like maybe you need to go back to school. Whatever it is, you know, that's just one example. Whatever this new thing is that helps you to liberate from what you've been wallowing in, and what's releasing and what's healing, that new thing is going to have backing and support and help around it. So again, returning to that example of like having to go back to school, maybe you're, you know, already in some credit card debt or don't really want to put yourself into school debt or something, but like there's some kind of assistance coming through, whatever resources and help you need to follow whatever new passion arises in you, will be available to you. You may have to ask or seek it out. For some of you, maybe not. But whatever you need resource-wise to help you initiate onto this path, you should be able to find quite easily. So you have support for this new path, and it may even just be people in your life being like, thank God, yes, move on, I will help you, I will give you anything to follow this new thing. It might just be like, a sibling or parents or a best friend or a spouse being like, yes, I will give you anything to move towards this new thing. What do you need? I got you. Or it might be a little bit more abstract. I don't know. For some of you, it could even be like getting a loan that you feel good about. Like it doesn't feel like, I'm taking out this loan, but will I be able to repay it back when it's time to start making payments? It wouldn't be like that. If it were a loan, it would be like, yeah, that's not a problem for me to take on. I wouldn't stress about that repayment period. But yeah, in some way, whatever it is, there is some support for you in a material and resource way to be able to follow whatever new passion starts to arise for you. Beautiful. All right. So that is where I'm going to leave you guys for your November reading. I'm excited for you. I can feel this energy of just this new lightness and passion, but still depth there. Still a depth there. But yeah, a very long awaited need to kind of move on from something and really get some new life force turning through your life. So pretty pivotal stuff for a month reading. Yeah, so if this resonated with you guys, I always appreciate the things like, share, and subscribe, and just really grateful for all of you that come and support my channel and my readings. It's yeah, just it's so nice to have people want to come and support that and feel engaged with your content and intuitive way of seeing things. So thank you for being here. And also, I always am grateful for kind and thoughtful comments as well, just that little human touch. But either way, just glad you're here too. So yeah, I hope you have a beautiful November, and I will see you in future readings.